They didn't insult me directly. They didn't raise their voices. They just looked at me once, my clothes, my silence, and quietly decided I didn't belong there. By the time the bill arrived, they were already sure who I was. My name is Michael. And that night taught me how fragile respect really is when people think you have nothing. From the moment I walked into that restaurant, I felt out of place. Not because I was nervous, but because everyone else acted like I was. The lighting was soft, the music low, and the kind of people who ate there didn't glance at menus. They glanced at people. I was invited by coworkers, not friends. The kind who laugh with you at work but never really see you. I almost canceled, but something inside me said to go. Dressed simply, no watch, no labels, nothing that announced success. That was my first mistake. As soon as we sat down, the judgment started, subtle, controlled. One of them smiled and asked if I was sure this place worked for me. Another laughed and mentioned how expensive it was. I smiled back and said nothing. Menus arrive. The prices were high enough to make people nervous on purpose. They ordered quickly steaks, wine, extra sides without hesitation. When the waiter reached me, he barely made eye contact. "I'll start with water," I said. The table went quiet for a moment. Then the jokes came. Someone said it was a smart choice. Another joked that I was playing it safe. One even said there was no pressure, that I should order what I could handle. I laughed with them, but inside, my stomach tightened. Not because I couldn't afford the food, but because they were enjoying believing I couldn't. Dinner continued without me. Conversations floated above my head. Vacations, investments, complaints about hard years that still sounded rich. I stayed quiet, watching and listening. What hurt the most was how the waiter treated me too. Plates were placed carefully in front of them. Mine was slid across the table. Refills skipped me. It was like everyone had already decided who I was. For a moment I thought about leaving, making an excuse. Walking out before the night got worse. But I stayed because I wanted to see how far it would go. Then the bill arrived. The waiter placed it in the center of the table like a test. One of them laughed and asked how we were splitting it. Another suggested dividing it evenly, like it was the obvious solution. I saw the relief on their faces. They were waiting for me to hesitate, waiting for proof. My heart started pounding, not from fear, but from anger. I realized this night wasn't about dinner. It was about watching me stay small. "I'll take care of it," I said calmly. They laughed again, told me not to be ridiculous, said they were joking. I told them I wasn't. I picked up the bill and handed my card to the waiter. He looked at it and everything changed. His posture straightened, his voice softened. He called me sir. He walked away without another word. The table fell silent. No jokes, no smiles, just discomfort. When the waiter returned, he placed the receipt in front of me and thanked me by name. He said it clearly, respectfully. No one spoke. I stood up, put on my jacket, and wished them a good night. My voice didn't shake. I didn't look back. Later, messages came. Awkward apologies, invitations, jokes, pretending nothing happened. I didn't reply. Because once people show you how they measure your worth, you don't owe them another chance to remeasure it. They didn't change because I paid the bill. They changed because money spoke louder than their assumptions. They treated me like I was poor until the bill arrived. And in that moment, I didn't feel rich. I felt exposed.